On Delta TV main news tonight, Governor Sheriff Oborevwori inaugurates key infrastructure projects at University of Delta. Nigeria sets to become full member of Council of Palm-Producing Countries. Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention confirms 318 cases of Lassa fever. Abroad, President Donald Trump gives 10-day deadline to Iran on Iran nuclear deal. Good evening and welcome to Delta Television Main News. I am Blessing Usiagwada. You can also follow our news online on Facebook and YouTube at Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba, or visit our website at www.dbsasaba.com. Now, the news in detail. Governor Sheriff Oborevwori has inaugurated critical academic infrastructure projects at University of Delta, Unidel, Owalero campus in Ika Northeast local government area. The project inaugurated include the Faculty of Management and Social Sciences complex, named after the governor, the Faculty of Environmental Sciences building, the Faculty of Engineering lecture hall and workshops, a 500-seater central auditorium, and a fully equipped central library. Ejime Udweme reports.
Speaking at the ceremony, Governor Oborevwori reaffirmed his administration's commitment to expanding access to quality education across the state, describing the event as a harvest of projects and a reflection of his government's investment in students of the institution to make optimal use of the facilities and guard against vandalism, emphasizing that discipline, creativity, and integrity must guide their academic pursuits. Governor Oborevwori explained that the decision to create additional universities in the state was informed by the limited admission quota approved by the National Universities Commission for the then Delta State University, Abraka, which left thousands of qualified students without placement annually.
We must prepare our students, not just to seek jobs, but to create them, as education remains the most powerful tool for that transformation. As government, conducive learning environment.
And he has granted our request. I know of things are happening. There's peace in Delta State. From when I took over to now, you can see there's a lot of improvement in Delta State. All to his glory.
Earlier, Bishop Kwakpowe emphasized that one of the core responsibilities of men of God is to continually intercede for leaders at all levels. He assured the governor that as a proud Deltan, he will continue to pray for him and for the peace and progress of the state. The cleric also reminded both leaders and followers of the need to always place national interests above personal considerations for the growth and stability of the country. Bishop Kwakpowe disclosed that he was in the state for the annual prayer program of the Our Daily Manna devotional.
Be my state. This way I got born again. This way I schooled. This is my genesis. This is my root. I think, yes, I may be all over the world, but by God's grace, I will not forget Delta, sir. So we came to let you know, we want to stand with you. I'm not a politician, but the Bible says I should pray for my governor. I should pray for my leaders.
The high point of the visit was a special prayer section offered for Delta State and the nation at large. Ejime Udweme reporting.
Governor Sheriff Oborevwori has inspected the ongoing Ugbolu Okpanam Road project in Oshimili North local government area and phase 2 of the Oko Anala Oko Ogbe Oko Odifili Road in Oshimili South Local Council, Oshimili South Council area, reaffirming his administration's commitment to infrastructure development. Ejime Udweme reports.
The Ugbolu Okpanam Road spans 12.12 kilometers with 7.7 meter wide concrete drainage channels on both sides and overall width. The governor described the Ugbolu and Oko terrain as challenging, noting that unsuitable clay soil had to be excavated and replaced to ensure a stable foundation. He explained that comprehensive drainage will channel storm water safely to the river and reduce flooding, especially as Okpanam was on higher ground.
The beauty about this road, it connects between Ogbolum community and Okpanam community. And they have lived together. And this road will bind them together. As a bridge builder, you need to connect, not only just doing flyovers in the urban area, you must also connect in the rural, so that most of the infrastructure we are doing in the rural to have a lot of impact on the people. So, and that's why I've come here to inspect.
At the phase 2 of the Okanala, Okogbele, Okodifili road, Governor Borewore stressed adherence to timeliness, saying the project was structured in phases, with phase 1 covering about 4.7 kilometers and completed to the inspection point, while phase 2 spanned about 5 kilometers. He assured residents that the contractor had been fully mobilized and that the project will be completed by 2027.
So I assured the Oko people that we are ready. It's because of the terrain, the funds are there, the contractor have been fully mobilized with 40%. So we are not owing them. We expect them that before the end of this year, they will try their best. But I know that they will finish this project before August.
The land where the Cubana Millennium City is situated. The community made the reaffirmation during a peaceful demonstration to express solidarity with the chairman and chief executive officer of the Cubana Group, Chief Obinna Iyebu, stating that the company followed due process in acquiring the property. Henry Usiayu reports. Carrying placards and singing solidarity songs, the demonstrators maintained that the land on which the multi-billion naira development stood belonged to Okpanam community, calling on the neighboring Isela-Zagba community to respect existing boundaries towards peaceful coexistence. Addressing newsmen, the Ugwani of Okpanam, Dr. Michael Mbanefo, described reports of encroachment as disturbing, cautioning that while the community was peace-loving, its calm disposition should not be mistaken for weakness, even as it stressed that Okpanam remained committed to protecting its ancestral heritage through lawful and legitimate means.
Cubana investment, housing Millennium City is planted on the soil of Okpanam Kingdom. And like I said on the day of the groundbreaking exercise, we shall defend that edifice with the last blood in our body. If they succeed, we have succeeded. If they fail, God forbid, we have failed. And that is it.
Also speaking, Chief Frederick Okafor and the president of the Okpanam Youth Organization, Comrade Lucky Okolo, reiterated that the Cubana Group complied with all necessary procedures in acquiring the land. They described claims of dispute as misleading, pointing out that available records clearly establish the land's status, even as they reaffirmed the community's support for genuine development efforts, while urging the Cubana Group to consider renaming the project Cubana Millennium City, Okpanam, to reflect its location.
Pointing out that Cubana is in the Isela-Zagba land. It's in Isela-Zagba land. They are threatening to go to court or do one thing or the other. So where the whole Okpanam has come out to tell the world and the state government that Cubana is in Okpanam land. If you Google here where you are now, put Google, it will tell you where you are. You are in Okpanam, Oshimili North, not Aniocha North.
It's really quite unfortunate. Why we are here today is that we want to let Obi Cubana and Sons, that the people of Okpanam are suddenly behind you. But there is something you really need to do. We saw while going through this place, we saw in our samples, Millennium City Asaba. I don't understand. How come? Where? When? How? Who said that this place is Asaba? This place is not Asaba. If you want to use our PMB, you can decide to say Millennium City, Okpanam, PMB, Asaba, Delta State. Or you can even name it Capital Territory. Don't name Asaba. Asaba has nothing to do with this place.
Members of the Ogbozoma community in Okpanam, alongside legal representatives of the Cubana Group, also addressed a press conference to further clarify the matter.
The land presently being developed by Cubana Group is free from encumbrance, lien, or adverse claim. The attempt to associate it with unrelated litigation or a disputed constant agreement is misleading, defamatory, and calculated to cause confusion. Members of the public are therefore advised to disregard such statement, which appear to be orchestrated in furtherance of ulterior motives. The facts remain clear, verifiable, and legally defensible.
Henry Busiayo reporting.
The federal government has introduced a new investment budgeting approach aimed at improving project delivery, ensuring measurable results, and increasing private sector participation as part of plans to grow Nigeria's economy to $1 trillion. Speaking at a meeting with the Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Economic Summit Group, Dr. Tayo Aduloju, the Minister of State for Finance, Dr. Doris Uzoka Anite, said Nigeria must move away from past practices where key infrastructure assets were handed to operators without the capacity to deliver results. She said the government is working with the Ministry of Finance Incorporated to review its equity stakes in strategic assets and strengthen oversight to ensure improved performance. Under the new framework, public support will be tied to clear performance targets such as job creation, productivity, and income growth. The government also plans to establish a multi-sector umbrella fund to attract long-term institutional investment. Dr. Aduloju welcomed the reform, noting efforts to build an investment budgeting system that delivers measurable national results and boosts investment in the real economy. Nigeria is considering upgrading its status from observer to full membership of the Council of Palm Oil Producing Countries as part of efforts to strengthen. The federal government has advanced plans to establish the Armed Forces College of Medicine and Health Sciences to strengthen military medical services and address manpower shortages within the armed forces. The decision was reached at a high-level meeting involving the Minister of Education, Dr. Maruf Tunji Alausa, the Minister of State for Education, Professor Suwaiba Said Ahmed, the Minister of Defense, Christopher Musa, and other key officials. According to a statement by the Ministry of Education, the proposed college will operate under the framework of the Nigerian Defense Academy, in line with the federal government's moratorium on new tertiary institutions. Officials say the initiative supports efforts to expand STEM education and strengthen Nigeria's healthcare workforce. The Education Minister noted that despite Nigeria's population of over 240 million, only 189 medical personnel currently serve in the defense forces, while the country faces a shortage of about 340,000 doctors. Under the plan, candidates will gain admission through the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, and after training, will be commissioned as captains in the armed forces. A technical working group has been set up to drive implementation, including representatives from relevant ministries and regulatory bodies. The Delta Broadcasting Service, DBS Asaba, has been called upon to further deepen its mandate as a government organ through increased public sensitization on the policies and programs of the administration of President Bola Tinubu, particularly under the Renewed Hope Initiative. The Delta State Coordinator of the Renewed Hope Ambassadors, the Right Honorable Funkekeme Solomon, made the call when he led a team of the body on a visit to the state-owned broadcast outfit. Eunice Emeyazia reports.
The Right Honorable Solomon underscored the critical role of the media in sensitizing citizens to the policies and programs of the federal and state governments. He explained that the Renewed Hope Ambassadors acted as a grassroots mobilization and communication bridge across Nigeria's 774 local government areas with a primary mandate to promote the Renewed Hope agenda, fight misinformation, and directly connect citizens with government policies to ensure inclusive growth. The state coordinator added that the body also strengthened the feedback loop between the government and the people, in line with President Bola as a symbol of partnership and shared commitment to national development. Eunice Emeyazia reporting.
The General Manager of Delta Broadcasting Service, DBS Asaba, Mrs. Christine Jobome Emetulu, has been presented with an award of excellence by the Board of Directors, DBS Asaba, in recognition of her efforts and contributions to the development of the station and promotion of the Mo agenda of Governor Sheriff Oborewore Administration Trust. Bridget Agetu reports.
The award was presented by the board chairman, Honorable Austin Chikezie, at DBS Broadcasting House, Asaba. Honorable Chikezie noted that Mrs. Christy Emetulu earned the honor for diligent service and quality leadership since assuming office as the station general manager.
This is an award of excellence presented by the board of Delta State Broadcasting Service, Asaba, to a woman of substance, a mother, a woman of integrity.
In his remarks, a member of the board, Pastor Paul Osao, described the award as a reflection of Mrs. Christy Emetulu's distinguished leadership and commitment in ensuring the station was operational. He urged the public to stay tuned to DBS Asaba on radio and television. Receiving the award, the General Manager DBS Asaba, Mrs. Christine Jobome Emetulu, expressed gratitude to the board for its support, dedicating the award to the staff of the station for their cooperation, while pledging to continue our efforts in the advancement and growth of the station.
The staff, management and staff of the Broadcasting Service, I'd like to put on record that there will be no general manager if there are no staff. And indeed, it is the effort of the staff that has continued to put us on air, on radio, on television, and now the mileage of being online. So a very big thank you to you, and again, this award is dedicated to all staff of Delta Broadcasting Service. I cherish you, but as they say, recognition, appreciation is more for us to do more. So I expect that between myself and you, we'll do more to ensure that the vision of the Delta State government is driven as we ought to do it.
Bridget Agetu reporting.
You're watching Delta TV Main News. Still to come, President Donald Trump gives a 10-day deadline on Iran nuclear deal. Details of this story and many more will come after the short break. Please stay tuned.
Community, try as much as possible to guide your utterances. No company can be intimidated. The companies are also urged to keep to their social responsibility, the corporate social responsibility. I always say it, keep to it. If you keep to your
income families to reduce financial barriers to education. Garba commended the Benue State government led by Governor Hyacinth Alia for its commitment to improving basic education delivery. She also revealed that recent reforms have improved state access to education, matching grants, while infrastructure projects and community-based school improvement initiatives continue to curb the outbreak. The agency has deployed its National Rapid Response Team to affected states and is working with state government to strengthen surveillance, case management, and community engagement. Dr. Idris revealed that 15 healthcare workers have been infected this year, stressing that protecting frontline workers remain a priority. He urged Nigerians to maintain proper hygiene, store food safely, control rodents, and seek proper medical care, while warning against misinformation that could hamper response efforts.
Must produce a meaningful agreement, warning that failure could lead to serious consequences. The development comes amid increased U.S. military presence in the Middle East, even as progress was reported during talks between American and Iranian negotiators in Switzerland. Iran has, however, warned that it would consider U.S. bases in the region as legitimate targets if they are used for any military aggression. In a letter to Antonio Guterres, Tehran expressed concern over what it described as escalating rhetoric while maintaining that it does not seek war. Meanwhile, some Democratic and Republican lawmakers have opposed any potential military action without approval from Congress. President Trump added that special envoys Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner held productive meetings with Iranian officials. Israeli authorities have imposed tight restrictions on Palestinian worshippers seeking access to the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound in occupied East Jerusalem for the first prayers of Ramadan. Hundreds of Palestinians were seen queuing at the Kaladiya checkpoint near Ramallah, hoping to gain entry. However, Israeli officials said no more than 10,000 Palestinians from the occupied West Bank would be permitted access, and only with official permits. Authorities stated that only children under 12, men over 55, and women aged 50 and above are eligible to enter. Israeli media reported that by today morning, only about 2,000 Palestinians had successfully crossed into Jerusalem, as security forces maintained a high alert at checkpoints between the West Bank and East Jerusalem. The restriction comes amid reports from Palestinian authorities, human rights groups, and the United Nations of rising violence in the occupied territories, including attacks by settlers, shootings, and destruction of property.
Welcome back home. Now in business, Nigeria's total public debt reached 153.29 trillion naira as of September 30, 2025, according to the Debt Management Office, DMO government, the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, while external debt was 71.47 trillion naira. The federal government accounted for the majority of domestic debt, rising to 77.81 trillion naira in third quarter of 2025 from 76.58 trillion naira in second quarter. State government and the FCT also saw the domestic debt marginally increase from 3.96 trillion naira in June to 4 trillion naira in September. The continued rise at 23.85 trillion naira, representing 4.28% of gross domestic product (GDP). Debate over the country's borrowing practices and revenue allocation remains a contentious issue in public discourse. Earlier in the year, the DMO refuted claims claiming the nation's debt had surged from 21 trillion naira to 142 trillion naira under President Bola Tinubu, clarifying that the figure was 87 trillion naira when he assumed office. In May, a National Orientation Agency report noted some debt reduction following increased allocations from the Federation Account Allocation Committee. Cup now rests with FIFA. The Nigerian Football Federation lodged a formal protest with the World Football Governing Body, alleging that just after a meeting with President Bola Tinubu at the Presidential Villa, Diko said the issue remains under review. He stated that from a competitive standpoint, the World Cup is closed, but the legal proceedings are ongoing, and revealed that the relevant independent bodies within FIFA will make the final decision. Diko also expressed hope that the Super Eagles could be reinstated for the Intercontinental Playoffs scheduled for March. That's our news. Now our thought for the day. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. And to end the news, here are the highlights. Governor Sheriff Oborevwori has inaugurated critical academic infrastructure project at University of Delta, UNIDEL, Owalero campus in Ika Northeast local government area. The project inaugurated include the Faculty of Management and Social Sciences complex named after the governor, the Faculty of Environmental Sciences building, the Faculty of Engineering Lecture Hall and workshops, a 500-seater central auditorium, and a fully equipped central library. Nigeria is considering upgrading its status from observer to full membership of the Council of Palm Oil Producing Countries as part of efforts to strengthen its role in global palm oil diplomacy. This was disclosed in a statement by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs after the Minister Yusuf Mayate Matuga received the Secretary General of the Council, Ms. Izana Saleh, in Abuja. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention has confirmed 318 cases of Lassa fever and 70 deaths nationwide since the start of 2026. Director General Dr. Jide Idris disclosed this at a press briefing, noting that 1,469 suspected cases have been recorded, with a case fatality rate of 22%. We also reported that President Donald Trump gives 10-day deadline on Iran nuclear deal. That ends Delta TV main news. Thank you so much for watching. You can also follow our news online on Facebook and YouTube at Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba, or visit our website at www.dtv.com.